Hello and welcome to this lecture, and in this lecture we are actually going to start building the web crawler. So even before starting to build the web crawler, I actually want to tell you guys how this crawler is actually going to perform and how we are actually going to build it. So even before learning how to build a web crawler, let's clear up the concept what a web crawler actually is. So what the web crawler actually does is that let's say you have a website. So let me take a random name of any website. So let me just take a random website like Wikipedia. So let's say you have this Wikipedia website. So what this Wikipedia website is going to have is that it's going to have a bunch of links pointing out to other websites. So let's assume that the Wikipedia has a bunch of links to other sites like let's say facebook.com, let's say youtube.com, and let's say any other websites like that. So what the crawler is going to do is that it's actually going to crawl through each and every one of those websites gathering links. So what I mean by that is the web crawler is first going to go to wikipedia.org, which is nothing but this website right here, and then it's actually going to look for links which actually point to other websites. So as I mentioned, Wikipedia actually has links to Facebook and YouTube. So what this crawler does is that it captures those URLs, that is facebook.com and youtube.com, and it is actually going to store it into a set of file which the crawler is actually going to have. So this crawler file is actually going to save these two URLs, and once the crawler is done visiting Wikipedia and capturing all of those links and storing all of them into this file, now what the crawler does is that the crawler starts crawling these files or these links as well. So now the crawler is first going to go to facebook.com. It's actually going to capture all the links from facebook.com. It's going to come back over here and store those links over here. So once the crawler is done visiting facebook.com, it's going to visit the next website on his list, that is nothing but youtube.com. So it is going to go to YouTube, extract all those links, again come back over here and usually store all the links right over here. So the way in which we are actually going to build the crawler is that we are actually going to make two files in our program. So the first file is actually going to be named as q.txt. So let me just take a file over here, and this is going to be q.txt, and this file is actually going to contain all the links which the crawler needs to visit. So let's also take some random link like wikipedia.org. So let's say this is the link which the crawler wants to actually visit, and once the crawler actually visits this website, what it is going to do is that it's actually going to extract all the links from this website and again store it into q.txt file. Now once the crawler actually crawls a particular link, it's actually going to store that crawled link into a new file which is going to be called as crawled.txt. So let me just create a new file over here, and let me just name that file as crawl.txt. So this thing right here is nothing but our crawl.txt file. And the reason why we are going to have a crawl.txt file is because once a particular URL is crawled, so let's say wikipedia.org is actually crawled, so what is going to happen to this is that this is going to get transferred from q.txt to crawl.txt because we want to make sure that one particular website is not crawled twice. So what happens now is that whenever we actually want to insert a new website in the q.txt, we first compare that website with all the websites present in the crawl.txt, and if that website does not match with this, only then we are actually going to place it in the q.txt because we don't want to visit one site more than once. So that's the reason for using this crawl.txt file, and that is basically to compare or check if a website is not visited or crawled twice. So this is how we are going to actually build a crawler, and crawlers are also called as spiders. So this is how we are going to build our spiders, and when we actually jump into the code, it's actually going to make much more sense than it's making now. So in the next lecture onwards, we are actually going to convert this concept of crawler into code. So let's see how we do it. So that's it for this lecture, and I hope you guys were able to understand the concept of a web crawler. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.